Raptor fans, this was one of those games where you could just kick your feet up, but just relax, get a beverage going, and just enjoy some basketball. As without the Spurs having their top two players, you kind of had a feeling something like this might happen, especially when this Raptor team was buzzing in the last game and carrying it over into this one. Yeah, you got that. After the first quarter, it was kind of tight. It was a 1-point game. At one point, they had a lead with like 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. And then the Raptors were like, all right, enough of this. And they turned on the Jets and didn't look back as they beat the San Antonio Spurs 143 to 100. They won by 43 points. The starters did not play the final quarter and a bit. The only reason Pascal was out there was to get his triple-double, which he got. And that was great. No starter, heck, no player played 30 minutes today. The top guy in the game was Scotty Barnes with 28 minutes. And you really needed a game like this, when all your starters in the first 7 games were playing heavy minutes against these good teams, other than the Atlanta game. You needed to get some rest, and still no Fred VanVleet in this game, and I'm totally cool with that. We've now seen that Scotty can play the point, so there's no need to push Fred to, especially with the back thing. You don't want that thing lingering throughout the rest of the season, right? If you're the Toronto Raptors, got a phone call. Can't let that happen. As much as I love my girlfriend, can't let that happen right now. So let's break down the ball game, shall we? First quarter, as I mentioned, it was a tight ball game to start. 32-31 Raptors after one. They started out hot. They were up like 13-2 early. Then they made a little run, and it was a 1-point game after one quarter. And like I mentioned, they had the very brief lead with about 9 minutes left. And like I said, the Raptors turned on the Jets defensively, got locked down tight. They got in the passing lanes as they've done all year long, and more specifically in the last 2 games. And they got out and run, and they win that quarter 32-18. And it was just sound play. Like I could sit here and break down stuff all day long with the way this game played out. But it's just a collective effort. Whether it was OG getting steals, whether it's Christian Koloko at the rim denying shots, whether it's Gary Trent Jr.'s pickpocketing people, getting out and running, and not going for the 2 points and dropping it off for OG for the easier 2. Did not see that one coming from GT, but I'll take it any day, and I love the unselfish play. They win that quarter 32-18. You're plus 14 there. You're plus 15 at halftime. You're in good shape, but as we saw in the last game, you cannot come out flat in the third quarter. And they don't. They drop a 40-piece on the Spurs, and they drop 21. You're up, plus 19 there. I can't do the math on that. You guys can. They're up an absolute ton. Absolute ton. Heading into the fourth quarter, and as I mentioned, no starters were out there past the last few minutes of the third quarter and onwards, except for Pascal to get his triple-double. And the bench guys got it done there on out. They still dropped 39 in the fourth quarter. They allowed 30, but you're still 9 in the quarter. You win by 43, and just a clean, sound victory for the Toronto Raptors. And they did what they were supposed to do. Lay a beat down on a squad that doesn't have the 2 best players. It's plain and simple. You did it. Isn't it great when a sports team doesn't play down to their opponent, and when their opponent's not very good, they beat the living snot out of them? Except if you're the Pistons facing the Raptors, because we all know the voodoo that happens there. Let's get to the player stats. OG was phenomenal. 16 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists for him. 7 of 12 from the field, was 3 of 3 from the free throw line, 1 of 3 from distance. But that's not what we're here to talk about. This man has 11 steals in 2 games. He has 5 more steals today. He had a block as well. And at one point, shout out Vivek Jacob on Twitter and William Lou for retweeting it. The man at one point had what was the number? 15 steals, whatever the number was. It was in 50 minutes. And it was to put it all into perspective, that is insane. What OG is playing all defensive team? We'll see how it goes. Be defensive player of the year? I don't know. We'll talk about that. Him and Freddie are the top 2 guys in the NBA in steals per game so far. And with OG getting 5 more today, that's just going to go up. He was a plus 28 in the game as well. By the way, I don't have any stats written down for him because he didn't really stand out statistically. But Christian Koloko again, right? Had a couple points. I think he had 6 rebounds in the game. It was a plus 30 while he was on the floor. Didn't do anything harm to the team. Does a lot of things to impact and help the squad. So really like what we saw from Christian today as well. Again, not offensively, but everything else. So nice job from him. Gary Trent Jr., GT. You know, we've talked about it over the last little while now, him not forcing shots. And today was another example of that. How many times have we seen Gary Trent Jr. chuck up like double-digit threes, right? That's kind of what we're used to seeing from Gary. Just catch and shoot from three, maybe a few mid-range here and there. Well, today you saw a different side of Gary. 24 points in the game, 3 boards, couple dimes. 9 of 17 shooting. They think 17 shots. How much you want, before I even say the number, you know, you think about 10 threes, 9 threes. Well, he only took 6 of his 17 shots. Doesn't force it, gets the mid-range game, and when his mid-range game is cooking and there's a guy all over him, it don't matter. He's going to drill it. 24, 3 and 2, and 9 of 17 shooting, 4 of 4 from the line, 2 of 6 from distance, 2 steals in the game for Gary as well, and a plus 35 while he was on the floor. Great job again for Gary Trent Jr. Where else are we? Yeah, Pascal Siakam. Oh, spicy P. All NBA spicy P. And he's going to do it again if he continues at this rate. Drops 22 in the game. He had 11 at the half. So he had 11 in each half in the game. But he didn't force the offense today. You know, you look at the last game, right? And again, we've talked about it all year long so far. It's not just him trying to beat you with the scoring, right? It's him beating you in so many different ways. Like, for example, he dropped 31 in the game against Atlanta, which is fantastic. But it's the 12 assists that we're talking about. Because he shot 8 of 21. You know, he got to the free throw line a ton, which was great. But it was the facilitating. And today, he had 22 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists in the game. And he shot efficient. 10 of 19 from the field. 1 of 1 from the line. Look at that. Only gets to the line one time. And only made 1 3. He was 1 of 5. So again, him doing so many different things. In the last game, he wasn't shooting well from the field, but he was getting to the free throw line and he was shooting well from 3. Well, what'd you see for today? Efficient from the field, didn't get to the free throw line, didn't shoot well from 3. Just doing so many different things. And oh yeah, by the way, another double-digit assist night for Pascal Siakam, 11 dimes. It helps when your team's making shots, obviously. But you got to make them open. You got to make those passes happen. And I really love what Pascal did yet again today. I sound like a broken record. We all do. But I don't care. We love it. Plus 26 while he was on the floor tonight. So another great job for Pascal in all aspects of the game. Chris Boucher got a season high in points. And he was electric. 17 off the bench. And he learned his role like midway through last season. And he has not deviated from that. He knows what his role is. He's not going to be a guy that come in and drop 25. You're not asking for that. Come in, make your open shots, block some shots, be sound defensively, take charges, because he did that again today. Remarkable. 17 points, 8 boards, couple dimes. Shot 7 of 10 from the field, took 5 threes. You know why? Because he was feeling it. He was 3 of 5 from distance, had 2 steals and a denial in the game. He was a plus 22 on the floor, and he took a charge. Really nice night for Chris Boucher yet again. You can tell early on in the season, you were missing this guy. You were missing that punch off the bench. That's why the starters had to play 40-plus minutes. And we're all talking about it. We're like, oh, well, all he did to play so many minutes. Well, yeah, because for one, you didn't have Boucher. You didn't have Otto Porter. You know, and you were playing good teams, so you were in tight games the entire time. Now you have Boucher back, and we saw a little bit of Otto Porter. And, let's go right to him. Because, again, very minimal minutes. I don't even think he played double-digit minutes, which is fine, right? He didn't play any preseason. He probably minimal training camp. And, obviously, no games in the season so far. So you want to ease him back in. Well, he had 5 points, 3 boards, 1 of 2 from the field, made 2 free throws, knocked down a 3 as well, albeit most of it in garbage time, but that's okay. And he had a couple steals, and he was a plus 9 in the minutes that he played. So, hey, Otto Porter, we know he's going to be a big part of that bench mob we got going on with Chris Boucher and him. And a little bit of pressure at Chua, who didn't really do much in the actual game. And the garbage time did really well, 12.6 boards in a dime, 4 of 9 from the field. The consistency from him on the free throw line is beautiful, 4 of 4 there. But he's lost a three-point shot. He's 0 of 3 there, had a steal and a denial, did Precious. But what I saw from the bench today was outstanding. Chris Boucher, great. Precious, again, down the stretch, okay. Otto Porter in minimal minutes. I liked what we saw. And Delano Banton put up some Gary Trent Jr. numbers. 13 points, no rebounds, no assists. Shooter mentality. don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that hand. I'm not a lefty. But anyways, 5 of 7 from the field. And get this one, 3 of 3 from 3-point range. If Delano can find a 3, it's scary. Because you know how dangerous his drives can be. But everyone's sagging off him because they know he can't shoot the 3, right? Or at least he couldn't. So if he starts drilling those, kind of like what's happened with Scotty, you drill those 3s, it'll force them to make something happen. Did I not even write Scotty Barnes down? I know he had like 15 in the game, did really well. Oh my God, I'm embarrassed. Scotty B was good yet again. Started the game, 5 of 5 from the field, had 11 points in the early goings of this basketball game. The first quarter, Scotty B's have been really good. Obviously, he was great last game in the first quarter. He was great yet again today and facilitated the ball. You know what you're going to get. I think, let me see if I can remember the stat line. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I have nothing in front of me. 15 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists on 7 of 12, 7 of 13. It's in that range. But no matter what, Scotty did a phenomenal job yet again, and it's just basically, those are his averages on the season, 15, 4, and 5. So you want to see a little bit more from Scotty sometimes, but the early goings, when you only won the first quarter by 1, but Scotty had basically a third of your points. He really focused early on, and obviously a lot of Pascal ball movement. You love what you saw there from the fellas. All right, that's the first time I've ever missed Scotty in here, and it's terrible because he was good yet again today. Let's get those team stats, shall we? Toronto, Scott, 54% from the field, money. 42% from 3, money. 94% from the line. They're starting to find those freebies. 15 of 16 from the free throw line. They shot 39% from the field, 33% from 3, and 86% from the free throw line. So the very minimal numbers there. The Raptors defense was outstanding yet again tonight, albeit, again, very shorthanded Spurs lineup. You got to try to do against a team that you're going up against, right? You can't just say, well, we're not playing against a good team, so we're not going to play very well. No, you beat the snot out of them, and that's what they did, right? More team stats. Look, rebounding was a weird one today because we were +4 on the boards. We were -4 in the offensive glass, and early on, they were demolishing the Raptors in the offensive glass. It did come back to fairly close to even there, and it wasn't great there. However, in every other aspect, Raptors dominated. 16-3 in steals, 23-11 in turnovers, +36 in points in the paint. The Raptors had 76 paint points. I mean, when you score 43, what do you expect, right? 36-12 in the fast break. Again, they had 43 in the last game against Atlanta. They had 36 tonight. And 31-8 off of those turnovers. 23-11. They had 31 points off of the 23 turnovers by the San Antonio Spurs. They only turned the ball over 11 times, leading to 8 points. So that's a really good job by the Raptors in all aspects of the game, as you would expect against a shorthanded Spurs team. We have not had a game against a team like that this year. They've all been against tough teams. We knew that gauntlet of a 7-game stretch. You went 4-3, and now you face a rough team in San Antonio. You take care of business. Raptors are now 5-3 on the season, but they got to go on now to play possibly an MVP candidate, albeit very early in the season. But Luka Doncic in Dallas. Now Dallas going into today's. Would they play today? If they don't, or no matter what, going into play today, they were 3-3. So they're not playing the greatest, albeit Luka Doncic is Luka flipping Doncic, and he can do what he wants to do. All right? Friday night, 8:30 in Dallas as they finish up the Texas road trip. Raptors looking for the 3rd consecutive victory, and they continue to buzz, all right, as the season continues to roll on. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and you enjoyed the game this evening, smack that like button. I do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not already, comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from today's game for the Toronto Raptors? The Twitter link is down below. Hit the subscribe button. Comment down below your thoughts on the video. Sorry, girlfriend called again. Just threw me for the loop. Twitter link is down below, so follow up, send me a DM, that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. I will talk to you guys Leafs edition very shortly. They won a hockey game. That's all I got to say. I'll talk about that more in a little bit. And as for the Toronto Raptors, they're back in action in Dallas, taking on the Mavericks. 8:30 tip-off there as the Raptors look for the 3rd consecutive victory there on Friday night. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the game tonight. We'll talk to you guys then.